Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel, Watch Lookout, where I'm always on the lookout for the next watch in my collection. And today is the beginning of a brand new concept. Not really. I just have a new camera. I just bought a Sony camera, what is it? The ZV-1F. Basically, it's a vlogger's camera, so I can see myself as I'm filming, and it films in 4K, although I'm going to probably film much of it in 1080, just because I understand that 4K videos are behind a paywall on YouTube, and it doesn't really make sense to film in 4K if it's behind a paywall, and not to mention the fact it is considerably larger data, and it's really clunky at times based on the formats of 4K. But anyway, so I was going to do an unboxing video of the camera yesterday, but my channel is really focused on watches and not technology, so I didn't do an unboxing of the camera itself. But we'll see how it works out in this video. Today, though, I do have a watch to unbox, and I know I said over the last couple videos, and I even said this over the last couple videos, that it was supposed to be the last watch that I unboxed, but yet here we are, unboxing another watch. And a quick wristwatch check reveals that I am wearing my Aragon Titanium Divemaster GMT, and I wore it today because, spoiler alert, I have another Aragon, my second Aragon, in the box. Now, I have to say, this box is very heavy. I think it said it was 2 pounds, and it feels every bit of 2 pounds, which is kind of shocking. Now, the watch itself is going to be quite heavy. It's going to be the heaviest watch in my collection, but it's not 2 pounds heavy. So let's get into it and see what we got here. This didn't take all that long to arrive, but it did sit in Istanbul Customs for a while. FedEx, I really disdain FedEx here because they seem to deliver packages whenever they want and not when they're supposed to. So here we have the Aragon, wing engineered. It's in a, looks like it's a box within a box. Okay, let's put that aside. Yeah, it's quite heavy, but now, and this box feels a little more solid than the first Aragon box that I purchased. Things in here are kind of askew, and that is because the government, the customs officials open every package and inspect the contents. All right, so what do I have here? Got a pillow. We'll get through some more of these things here. Aragon is constantly in my email inbox, and at times it's quite annoying. There's 1 or 2 watches they have that are priced just above the import limit here, so I can't purchase them unless they go on sale below the limit. So it's always frustrating whenever they feature something that is nice, but I'm not going to be able to buy. And the other day, almost a couple weeks ago, an email popped into my inbox. I get them almost every day from Aragon. And I was going to dismiss it out of hand, but I saw something in there that I had sort of wanted. And here we go. This is another Divemaster. So I have the Divemaster in titanium, which is the GMT, and now this is the Divemaster EVO 4. And this is the heaviest watch in my collection. And I have a Spinnaker Picard, which is like 260 grams. I have a Liege Feel Never, another big watch, which is in the neighborhood of 250 grams. And this watch is more than 280 grams. It is 10.2 ounces. And whereas this watch is 50 millimeter case size, I got the larger of the two options that they had for this titanium Divemaster. This one is 48 millimeter case diameter. It does feature a crown at the 4 o'clock position, something I'm not too keen about. But the reason I got this watch is because I don't have a white bezel in my collection, and additionally I don't have a watch that has the entire dial luminous, and this entire dial is luminous, and it also features three-dimensional lume indices. Now I think what this is probably a product called Lumicore. Lumicore makes three-dimensional luminous objects to custom shape. They do also feature Super Luminova, Swiss Super Luminova. They have all three grades of Swiss Super Luminova. So I think that's what Wing is probably using in these watches, is this Lumicore. I can see there that red light from my camera, so that's something I have to think about in the future. Obviously, the inspiration for the camera was so that I could have better clarity and give you guys a more honest look of what the watch looks like if you were to see it in real life. Now that signed crown is also luminous, so we will carry the camera into the darkened bathroom and we will see just what this is about. I have to say, on the website I thought that the numerals on the bezel would be a little bit more contrasted with the ceramic insert. I thought they'd be a little more green, and what I'm realizing is that they're almost invisible, basically. And whereas quite a lot of ceramic bezel inserts have the numerals engraved, this appears to be just printed right on top of the bezel. So that's an interesting twist. I haven't seen that before. So we have a 48 millimeter case diameter. We do have a quite large, as it is a large watch, 15 millimeter case height, and our lug width is, I believe, 22, nope, I'm sorry, it is 24 millimeters lug width. And this bracelet, I do not believe, tapers. Does have a safety clasp and double push button deployant clasp. And we do have a display case back featuring our 24 jewel Seiko SII NH35 movement with sort of that custom rotor. Now on this other Divemaster that I'm wearing now, I always thought it was like a sticker that they apply to the rotor, and here it kind of looks the same way. Looks like one of those metallic stickers that they're applying to the rotor. I'm sure if I opened it up I could probably confirm that quite easily, but that's what I suspect it is. Alright, so this does feature 200 meters, 660 feet water resistance. It does have obviously a screw down crown. It has an interesting sort of knurling there, a bit different than the knurling on this Divemaster. This one always irritates me when I wear long sleeve shirts because it digs in to the top of my hand, and it is a little red and irritated today, right there, where it's been digging in. It doesn't look like that now, but that's because I've changed out of my work clothes, but throughout the day it was sort of pushing in here. I wear the watch a little looser. I put the larger south side band on so I could wear it a little looser because it was digging into the top of my wrist so much. And this is not really that smooth. It's kind of sharp edges on this knurling. This knurling looks a lot smoother, feels a lot smoother. It's still a little bit sharp. We do have an entirely satin finished case. We have that horizontal finishing there. And again, sort of a straight vertical finishing on the lugs. We do have a rather smooth and quiet 120 click unidirectional bezel that lines up really nicely. Like I said, you can't really see, you know, what's on the bezel that clearly, and I'm sure in different lighting situations that'll either, you know, be more exaggerated or less exaggerated. I really like the blue hands. That was another thing I liked. Now, I was curious if they would be painted or if they would be blued. I don't know if they're flame treated blued, but they're not blue. It's not blue paint, so it could be like an ionic process that makes them blue. They could also be flame treated, but it looks a little too almost violet for it to be flame treated. I'm not exactly sure. We do have a date window that is framed, which is at the 4 o'clock position. Nice touch there. This is entirely 316 stainless steel, if it wasn't obvious, the case. Now the bezel itself does have a high polish on the coined edge, and it's sort of a radial brush finishing on the top of the bezel, you know, in between the with the bezel insert on either side of that. You can see that. And everywhere else it's brush finishing. A 3-link bracelet with what I imagine is going to be push pins, which reminds me, I don't know if they enclosed another tool, but I guess they didn't. I think the first time I got the Aragon, they had a push pin tool in there, but not this time, sadly. Yeah, this is a more substantial box than the first one. There's also, you can see, sort of an embossed or raised relief Aragon logo there. It's a little bit hard to see. I'm trying to get it in the light for you. Alright, so 10.2 ounce watch. It's huge. I'm not sure how many links I'm going to have to take out. Probably 3, I would imagine. And then, of course, now that I have this this camera, now I've got to go through the arduous task of doing reviews of all the watches I have. Up to this point, I've been taking it pretty easy, just doing one shot, one take unboxing videos. But now, on the other hand, now I have to go through and do video editing, and I'm not really looking forward to that because it's always fairly time consuming. So I do have a 7.5-inch wrist, for those that do not know it, and that's what it looks like, a 48mm case. I have to be honest, I don't know what the lug to lug is on this. You can see there it contours fairly nicely the top of my wrist. I mean, it's going to be large, right? A watch like this is going to be, I don't know, maybe as much as 60, certainly 55 millimeters maybe. It is a male end length there, so that's obviously going to extend it a little bit more. But this is not for the faint of heart, a watch like this. I now want to go in. I guess I could pause this and start it again, but and I know it will do that, but I'm just not sure if that'll create 2 files or 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of my flashlights and the camera. We're going to go into the bathroom. Little mini tour of the house that you can just barely see. Alright, so we'll set this up here. I'm using a combination of a UV light and a standard light. I find that both of them together really do the trick. Now we're supposed to have a fully lume dial and a lume bezel, and that's what we got. So we have a blue dial and green superluminova lume everywhere else. That's not bad. Looks really cool on camera. In real life, I think the blue is a bit darker than what we're seeing on camera. It's nice and bright. But of course, as it's a camera there, it's that's the only light in this room aside from the camera light. And it's doing a pretty good job. Not too shabby. That's why I got it. I wanted to have a dial that's fully lumed. I thought that would be a nice touch. And also those three-dimensional lume markers. I thought that would be cool too, to have something like that. So, there you have it, guys. Aragon Divemaster EVO 4 and 48 millimeters. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Cheers. Please like, share, and subscribe.